Good day, everybody. My name is Carlos. Welcome to one more episode, to another episode of My Life Without Limits podcast. Before I continue talking, I would like to introduce my co-host, once again, the producer of this program, the brain of this program, of this podcast, and everything that has to do with this podcast. It's Leah, although I have a lot of things to do too as well with this podcast. But
Yes,
yeah,
you do.
you're the co-host, and you're the one that I have always a happy face for.
I
So
like to have control.
welcome,
I need
Leah.
all the power.
You do like to have all the control and all the majority of the control and the majority of the power. No, but it's very amazing to have you here. How are you doing, Leah?
I'm doing very good.
You're in the office today.
Yeah, I'm in the office today, doing
Uh,
great weather outside. It's beautiful.
I'm at
And I'm
my
looking
home.
forward to a nice, beautiful weekend. So yeah.
You, we all looking forward to this wonderful weekend. What are you going to be doing this weekend, Leah?
I'm hoping to be sitting out on the deck a
Oh,
little bit. Maybe go buy some flowers. I don't know. We'll see.
just hinting, because I want to come to your house there and sit on the deck maybe this weekend eventually.
Oh,
No,
I
just
see what you're
kidding.
doing.
Just
I
kidding,
see.
just kidding, just kidding. Well, I'm at home, and I didn't. The reason why I'm at home is not because I slept in; it's because I got permission to be at home. And no, I did not slept in today. I
No.
came on a good time. But anyways, we have a wonderful guest that reached out to us once again for the season 3. Reach out to Leah, and so I am going to let Leah introduce Mike to our
Yes.
audience, and see what great stuff Mike has for us to talk about in this podcast. So Leah, go right ahead.
Yeah, I was very happy to hear from him. And our friend Mike Wing is here to tell us about some new things that he's up to. And I'm really just excited to learn about what's going on and how we can help get the word out about it. So, welcome, Mike. Why don't you just let us know a little bit about you?
Thank you so much, Leah and Colin. I'm really happy to be here. I actually my second time on the podcast, so
Yep.
extra exciting.
Mhm.
And yeah, my name is Mike Wing. I'm a person with a disability. I've been a disability advocate for years and years and years.
Mhm.
More specifically, the last 5 years. And currently, I am working with the Health Advocacy Federation as a community development assistant.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and that kind of my full story. It's actually my birthday on Saturday, so
Is
I'm
it?
turning
Oh.
I'm turning 30 this year. So
Oh,
Well,
wow.
happy birthday in advance.
thank you,
Yes,
thank
a
you.
new decade.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it.
That's great. I loved my 30s. Yeah. I had a lot happen in my 30s and it was all good
Yeah.
stuff. So
Well, and
excited.
I think I think that's why I kind of chose now to start what we're going to talk about today, because it's a new decade, it's a new start.
Yeah.
Let's kind of start fresh and create something great. So
Yeah, absolutely. There's no better time than that, you know. Well, good
yeah,
for you. So let's chat. Let's hear about Michael Wing Productions, I think it was.
yes, that is correct.
Yay.
So over the last couple years, I have really gotten into watching YouTube videos,
Mhm.
YouTube videos. And I decided to try my hand at it. And I started off having my own YouTube channel. I really wanted to do commentary YouTube videos.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, that's commentary on anything really. But after a few months, I just found that it was more difficult for me to come up with new ideas and create something. And then when I couldn't think of something, I would feel down on myself
Mhm.
and all of this stuff. And what I was really trying to do is not incorporate the disability advocacy stuff into my YouTube. Because I wanted to do something different. And, today I did so much disability advocacy in my personal life.
Yeah.
And then one day I thought, well, what if I just combined the two?
Right.
And what if instead of just doing it myself, it was I suppose commentary in a sense about the lives of people with disabilities.
Yeah.
And for as long as I can remember, the number one thing that I've noticed in media, it's gotten slightly better now, but I've noticed that the lives of people with disabilities have never really been normalized.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And if they are normalized, then it's somebody without a disability playing the role of the person with a disability.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's not authentic. That's not normalizing us in society.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I would like to do is I would like to gather stories from people with disabilities from all around the world and turn those stories into scripted YouTube videos, with actors with disabilities, script writers with disabilities, directors with disabilities, if at all possible, and kind of normalize the stories and the lives of people with disabilities. And these stories can be anything. They can be happy stories, they can be sad stories, they can be whatever the person feels like sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, our lives are not our disability. Yes, our disability is a part of us, it's a part of our identity, but it's not the only part of our identity.
Exactly.
There's other things that we do and other things that we want to achieve and try to achieve. And I want to normalize that. And I feel like YouTube is a really good platform.
Yes.
Because it makes it more of a global thing, not just a Canada thing or an American thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm still in the beginning stages, but I'm really excited about it.
That is exciting. I love that idea. Like taking the real stories and then turning them into, something where people are, you kind of are showing what the story, it's like a reenactment type
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
But I like that because then it's real, It's maybe scripted, but it's still real.
Yeah. And that's the other part of it is my hope is that with anybody that shares a story, and if we go ahead with that story, I want that person to be as involved as they want to be. Like if they want to look at the script to make sure that it's authentic and it's true to them, or if they want to have an interview with me after and talk a little bit more about it, then that's a possibility as well.
So, from my understanding, Mike, and sorry for jumping into it, but you would like to, is that correct that you would like to meet someone, or whether it's an actor, whether it's someone with a disability, who would like to share an unscripted story? But my question, I guess, would be, would you like to, would you be writing the scripted story yourself? Or would you like to collaborate with the person to write it together as a scripted story, for example?
My thoughts on this are my plan is to have a script writer, somebody that would write the script. But at the same time, if the person telling the story is a script writer or has experience writing a script and they want to write the script, I'm okay with that. That's great. I don't ever want people to have the notion that I'm taking away people's stories. I just want to amplify them, and I want to normalize our lives as people with disabilities in society.
Yeah. And that's kind of like with us here at the podcast, it's never, hey, can you come on and talk about this? It's like, come on, you have a story, come on and share, talk about whatever you want. We're not going to edit anything. It all just is how it is because it's real and it's raw, and that's how we like it because it's authentic. So that's kind of the same thing, and I think that's great.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and like I said, I think there needs to be more of that, and you know, because it's amazing if you consider the fact that there's 1.6 billion people who identify as having a disability, according to the World Health Organization, and yet we are one of the most marginalized groups out there.
Yeah.
And disability is really the only demographic that intersects with every other disability.
Yes.
It's also the only thing that can happen to anybody anytime in their life.
It's true. We're all who said that? Somebody once said that we're all temporarily able-bodied. Can't remember. Somebody said it one time, and I was like, yeah, that's true. Temporarily, because you never know when something can happen.
Yeah, no, you never know. I mean, your age can affect at the end of the day, and may put you in a wheelchair, may put you with a walker, may put you with something else. And I think that your point of view of normalizing a disability it has to happen. It has to be more people out there who want to carry the torch as well and saying, let's normalize this, because it needs to be normalized. For me, I don't know about you, and I would like to hear this from you, Mike. It's taken too long to normalize the disability, because we are many years, thousands and thousands of years living here. Well, not me, but there's so many people out there before you and I who are living with who have lived with a disability, who maybe they already passed on, but they had a disability, and we're still thinking up to this day about normalizing a disability. I think it's a great idea, and I think it's fantastic, but I think this should have been done a long time ago, and it's not your fault or my fault. You know what I mean? So it's completely understandable what you're trying to do, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Is this a one-man show, or is it just you right now doing it, or do you have some support?
It is not a one-man show, because I think I might go insane if I did it as a one-man show. No, it's just me right now. I mean, I have a lot of people in my life that know a lot more than I do, which is good. But I want to have a producer and, you know, all that sort of stuff that kind of help me run that side of things.
Yeah, that's great. So will you go after some grants and all that to help fund this project?
I'm going after some grants. I also have a GoFundMe going just to kind of help with getting things started, like the website and that sort of thing. So that's one other thing I should mention. I want this to be the most accessible thing on the face of the planet. I made a promise when I first started that I don't want to put a price tag on accessibility. Because accessibility is how I'm going to get those stories. Accessibility, like the accessibility of it is the guiding factor of this entire production. And so I have a friend of mine actually who's doing the web design and kind of looking into accessibility features and stuff.
Yes.
I'm also planning to have a PO box where people can send letters and whatnot. I'm also planning to what was I gonna say? Sorry. I also have an email address. I'm also planning to have a phone line where people can call and just leave a voicemail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like making this accessible, you know, maybe if you don't mind, I'd like to put this out to your viewers.
Yes.
What tools do you need in terms of accessibility to be able to feel comfortable and able to share your story.
Right. Yes, because some people might not be comfortable on camera like this. Some might, prefer to text or write it down. Some people are just better at writing, and then some might want to just send you an anonymous, here's what happened to me, and then kind of let you go and create it. And that's great, because that does make it very accessible.
Or somebody, as Leah said, just might want to write let's say I don't feel comfortable sharing it on TV or audio, but maybe I'll reach out to one of Mike's collaborators and say, hey Mike, this is a letter that I want your collaborators or yourself to read, right? Can you read it for me and put it out on social media or on a podcast or on the radio or on somewhere around there so people can listen to it?
It wouldn't be me reading it. It would
no,
not
you. Not you. Sure.
Yeah.
Not you, but someone
Yeah.
out there who doesn't necessarily have to be the person itself, right? I'm not saying that I would do that, because I would probably be like, okay, I would probably be on the radio, but there might be people out there, seriously, living in different countries. You might find this, Mike, when you end up starting out this situation, there's people in different countries who do not feel the confidence of speaking out by themselves, so they might need somebody else to speak for them. And that could possibly happen, right? So
and I think that's the other thing too, is that I'm okay with parent or support staff or whatever helping people to write the story, but I want to ensure that it's actually coming from the person with the disability and not not written like, oh, my son Jimmy has, but my name is Jimmy and I have cerebral palsy or whatever it is.
Their point of view, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's important in making it really authentic and real. I love that idea. And the anonymous idea too. I really think that's a great idea. Like, you never know. Like, if you saw that you had a message, like, how exciting would that be? Like, oh my gosh, what's the story gonna be?
I would be super excited, because that's the first step in this is getting the story, and then getting the script writer, and if there's anybody in your audience that is interested in doing that sort of thing, like it's even down to video editing, or cinematography, filming, I should say.
Yeah, we'll make sure to spread the word about that.
Absolutely.
So, they can reach out to you. And I have noticed we became Facebook friends the other day, and I have noticed you have a lot of really great support. Like, and you're out doing things and you're meeting people. And I've noticed I'm a creeper, in your comments and stuff, you have a lot of really great support.
Yeah.
So is that all mostly your family and friends, or?
Yeah. A lot of it is. I mean, there's some outside support, of course, but a lot of it is my family and friends. Who are mostly in the disability community. So.
And just for our audience to remember, you're located, Mike, in Ontario, or is it?
No, sorry. I'm in Edmonton, Alberta.
You're in Edmonton, Alberta. Okay.
Yeah. But you want stories from all over the world, which
from all over the world.
Limitless, right? Like, there's so many.
My dream with this would be to be able to travel and to be able to, go to other countries and maybe meet some actors with disabilities that want to, do stories in that country. I think that would be really cool too.
Oh, that would be great. You have to fundraise for your own private jet. Because we know a lot of airlines aren't very accessible.
No. That's true. The airlines could be pretty non-accessible.
Actually, I went the first time I went to England to visit my wife. I went to Gatwick, and they actually are pretty accessible. They do a pretty good job of Yeah.
Oh, good.
I didn't feel like I was belittled like I did with Air Canada. You know.
Mhm. So is your wife with you now, or does she still live over there?
I know, she's with me now. We've been together for 5 years and married for two and a half.
Oh,
Almost.
Oh,
nice.
wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's nice.
That's
Congratulations.
great.
Absolutely. And Mike, do you have any timeline on this, or do you have more like is it like a first come first serve? So once it comes, you start working on it, or do you have any timelines of this is when the stories are gonna happen, or this is when I think this is going to happen, and so on and so
So
forth.
yeah, my feeling on it is I want to gather as many stories as possible.
Mhm.
So once I have a few stories, like I don't know, maybe 10 stories, that's when I'm gonna look into hiring the script writer, and that's when we'll start writing the script. And connecting with people that have shared their stories to see if they want to collaborate further. And then the production piece, which, if I'm honest, the actual production piece is the scariest part for me, because I'm a very visual person and I haven't been able to actually visualize what it's gonna look like. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
I'm
know
sure
what you
that'll
mean.
go away once I actually do it, but yeah.
I think so. I think so. Because once you get it, or storyboards or something, like once you get it sort of laid out, hopefully your vision will begin. I know it can be tough doing that because, especially if it's something you haven't done before,
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
And
like that.
would you be also looking? Oh, sorry, Leah, I
No, that's
interrupt
okay.
you.
Go ahead.
Continue. Would you be also looking for some partnerships, like with for some people who partner up with you, or do you want this to be just myself? Like I know you said in this show that you want some producers, screen drivers, maybe some directors, but what about investors for your company that will be able to make it even bigger? Would you be looking for that? Are you started looking for those for
Um,
those things?
No, I haven't started. I'm definitely interested. I suppose that I'm a little bit nervous about it simply because, as you know, in the disability community, when you invite certain organizations in, they like to take over. And that is my biggest fear. And I'm not saying that's every organization. I'm just saying that's why I'm a little bit nervous. And I'm not opposed to that. I think that would be great. But I'm just a little bit antsy about it.
Yeah, you need somebody that's just like, this is a great project. We're going to invest, do what you
Yeah.
want to do, and throw some money at you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hard to turn
Yeah,
down.
that's exactly what I mean, I'm not even opposed to them wanting to collaborate in some way, but it just has to be very, yeah,
Yeah,
not
exactly.
overbearing, basically.
Yeah, they just have to let you work and still control your own company, right? Instead of want to take over the project that you first started, right? So
Mm.
and that it probably took you quite a bit of time and effort to sit down and actually think about, this particular production piece, right? So
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this your first, like, have you ever done anything with any like film, or like, did you go to school? Like, what's your background?
Well, well, okay. Let me start with my childhood because when I was a kid, I had a little red chair that had director on the back of it, and I think that's how I always knew I wanted to get into like
Yes.
broadcasting of some kind, content creation. But and then I also forced my family. I would write little scripts for TV, not TV shows, but shows and performances and stuff that I would put on. So I'd force my family to fit through
Awesome.
this.
That's awesome.
And do I have any school training? I mean, I'm being upfront. No, I don't.
That's okay.
But I did with the Health Advocacy Federation. I wrote one of the films that we did for Penny with Me, and I wrote half of another one that we did.
Oh, there you go.
So I at least have some of the writing experience. It's just the actual producing of it and the filming that I don't really have.
Yeah, maybe you'll find somebody that can do that. But I think that I mean, you did it, like you've done something. And I think that's, worth putting on the old resume or whatever in your portfolio.
Yeah, and I think, when I first started this project or the idea, I think I did want it to be just me doing everything.
Yeah.
And then like a day later, I'm like, no, I can't do that. There's no way I can do that.
Yeah.
In every company or every from what I gather is if you want to do it all on your own, you end up not being able to accomplish what you need to accomplish at the end of the day, right? So if you have different hats and different people who can focus on different parts of what you want to do, that all come together with your idea, I think people can make even this idea that you first started possible even bigger, right?
Mhm.
That's in my opinion, right? That's why we have a co-host in this podcast, because Leah said that she wouldn't do it without me, and I said I wouldn't do it without her. So it's kind of like
I can't do it without you. I see it, and I don't feel it would be right for me to do it on my own. Like, even though I'm helping amplify the voices of, people with disabilities, I don't have a disability. So I it's why I want you, why you should be here, because it's like I always say, like, it's about you. Whatever, sometimes he'll say, I'm sorry you didn't talk as much, and I talked a lot. I'm like, it's not about me, it's about you guys. I'm just here to sort of, I don't know, facilitate or whatever.
For some reason my camera went on. 1 second. I want to see what happened here.
Should I just say, sorry to interrupt, but
go ahead, Mike.
So I'm not gonna name names because I don't like drama, and I'm just not gonna get into that. But I just want to appeal to your audience, because I know that there are sorry, let me try that again. I know that YouTube and making these kind of scripted little episodes is a new thing, especially on a platform like YouTube. And there is another creator on the platform from the state, from the US, who does the same kind of thing, but it's much more broader, and it tends to not focus on disability, although there's some stuff that focuses on disability. He recently got into hot water because he wasn't paying his actors a fair wage, and there was
I remember, yes.
Yeah.
I was shocked that somebody can project themselves as being
I know,
so good and blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden you find out, and it's like that thing, never meet your heroes, because if you're ever disappointed that they're not as great as you thought, it's like sad.
No, exactly. But I mean, my appeal to your audience is that I am going to ensure that I am paying you not only a fair wage, but I think a little bit above that, if it's possible for me to do that. Because I want people to feel valued. I want people to feel like they are part of the production.
And that's another thing I wanted to touch base on. You brought a good point there, Mike. A lot of persons with disabilities do not feel valued. So here's my question for you. What is it, if it was your ideal world, what is it that will make a person with a disability feel value other than the monetary aspect? Of course, the monetary aspect is a huge thing, but what else would it be, something that you want to achieve that will make an individual like myself or yourself or other individuals out there with a disability, will make them feel more value than they feel now?
I think there's a very simple answer for that, and I think it it being seen and being accepted as an average human being.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, instead of staring at somebody in a wheelchair that in a mall, you know, it would be
Yeah.
glancing over and saying, "Oh, it's a person in a wheelchair. Okay, cool."
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm gonna give a spoiler because this is a script that I want to write. I was doing some research on the LGBTQ2S plus community and the disability community. And one of the stories I read is that somebody in a wheelchair and a friend of theirs that wasn't in a wheelchair, they went into a bar, and you know the person with the disability was hoping to meet somebody. All of the people that came up to their table talked to the person that wasn't in the wheelchair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like that's such a simple thing.
Yeah. People need to stop doing that.
Yeah, yeah, yes, they do.
Like, just stop. You know, it doesn't take anything to just look at somebody and acknowledge that they exist, you know? Like,
you know,
it's just silly.
it's really you brought up a good point, Mike, because it's really interesting because people know that the person in wheelchair is there. I just don't know why they decide to not talk to the person in a wheelchair. What is it? Because that person is in a wheelchair? Like it doesn't really matter. The wheelchair is a tool. The wheelchair is an equipment for that person to move. Like it doesn't matter what it is. So it's really interesting what you're saying is it's not hard to turn around and look at the person in a wheelchair. It's really not. And sometimes I guarantee you that the person in a wheelchair will probably be more not dissing the other person, but it will probably be as fun or more
Yes.
fun than
Yeah,
the
not
person
more.
on the other side, right? So
Yeah.
it's just mind blowing. As Leah said, it's really silly, and
Yeah.
it's really mind blowing to me to see that if the person's there, it's not only rude, it's I just can't even comprehend. Like it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, I actually have a friend who, and I'm sure this is not the proper word, and I apologize. I don't know what the correct word is, but she's nonverbal. And she plays wheelchair hockey.
Mm-hmm.
She's an incredible advocate, like, and just an incredible person. All of these things, and it's like, I don't know. I just want people to be able to see that. I want people to be able to see beyond the disability.
Yes.
So in my ideal world, I guess that's what it would be. Is see the people beyond their disability.
Yeah. Agreed.
So that's in summary, that's what your value would be when they're starting to value the person. See the people beyond the disability, regardless of whether they use a wheelchair, they use crutches, they're non-verbal. Pardon me if that's not the right word, but they're not verbal or whichever it is. They to see them beyond the disability, that's something that will make value to the person in your world. In this way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of terms are you comfortable with when it comes, because you know some people don't like disabled, some people prefer, you know, have special needs and all this stuff, and we've talked about with some other people. And what about you? Like, what are you comfortable with? How do you like, do you do the person first? I think
Person
is
first, yeah.
the best way to do it.
Yeah, I prefer disability or person with a disability. I do not like the term neurodivergent and neurotypical. I'm sorry, but I feel like that just divides us.
Right.
And it puts us in this category of neurodivergent. And it's like, oh, you're not a typical person. Well, no, everybody's a typical person. Come on.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
like special needs. It's like the needs, they're not special. They're needs everybody needs. So it's like they're not special. So that one is starting to phase out a little bit, I think. But
Yeah.
if you're gonna call somebody special needs, you might as well call everybody special needs because everybody needs some sort of a special
Yeah.
needs.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Sorry,
Exactly.
sorry, Mike, I interrupted you. You were gonna say something. So.
No, I was just gonna say I don't like the word disabled because it for me personally, and I've had conversations with other people that have said, well, no, that's not really what it means. But the word disabled in itself means broken. It means like something has been unplugged.
Yeah.
Or something, is not working right. So disabled.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea or the interpretation that I am somehow broken.
Yes.
I'm not.
No, you're
You
not.
know.
That's the same way I see it. That the word disabled, as you explain it, it feels like broken. However, if you look at you're a YouTube content guy and you watch a lot of YouTube videos, as you said. But if you look at a lot of people with disabilities now, they're using the word disable more for some reason. Leah did mention the other day, I think it's more like an ownership of it. They're owning their disability. But if you look at the word itself, to me it doesn't sound right. And the word disable itself is more to say Mike has a disability or Mike is living with a disability in compared to Mike is disabled or Carlos is disabled. Because again, it's like we can still move around, we can still walk, we can still do stuff. We're not broken, right?
No.
So I get your point, Mike. I do get your point. I would love to sit down with those people who are creating those YouTube video content with the word disabled. Because in the US, in Canada now, around the world, they're using the word disabled more than. And my issue with that is, what are you gonna normalize now? Are you gonna normalize the R word in the future?
Yeah.
Are you gonna normalize the C word? And I'm not talking about the women one. I'm talking about
I'm gonna say something that is gonna probably make your audience not like me anymore. But I am probably the only person with a disability that doesn't mind the R word.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's simply because of what it means. It means slow. It means I feel slow. Well, I am slow. Okay. I have a learning disability. I know I'm slow.
It's just when it gets used in place of a negative term, so I know exactly what you mean though. Yes, I do. Yeah.
And I just want to make it like I never use the word because I know that so many people don't like it, but it's just my own person.
No, and you know what? It's very interesting what you're saying because I honestly did not see a person that comes up front like you are saying, I don't mind the R word. Probably you're the first person that I heard it. But we do understand your point of view that it means slow, right? But I guess it's because they were, as Leah said, they were using it in a very negative connotation.
Yeah.
So that's why that's why the R word looks bad. So but my thinking is not only the R word, is what else are people gonna make a normal to say if they're already starting using the word disable? What else are they gonna use the word? Like, I mean, some people are using, as Leah said, again, I come back to the same issue of the word fat. For the people who are a little bit overweight, the word fat is becoming more normalized, right? Yeah, is it correct that people are saying, I'm fat and I'm owning it? I'm owning the word, I'm owning the stuff, and that make it normalized. For me, it's still hard to say the word, Leah, you're sorry, Leah, but Leah, you're fat. For me, it's hard still to say it, right? It is hard. But people are using it. People are normalizing it. Even Leah has used it in front of me, and I'm going,
freaking you out.
I freeze because I'm like, wow, that's a word that it's stick to me, like it's just different, right? So
it's ownership, and then trying to turn it into, like, why does it have to, like, when someone says, oh, I feel fat today, why does that have to be bad? Like, you know, like, why does fat have to be a bad word? So, you know, it's just taking it and turning it into like, you know, we're a bunch of fatty baddies and
And
whatever.
I actually really admire that mentality and that kind of owning, owning the word. But I totally agree with Carlos that I can't say it. I can't use that word to describe somebody.
I know, right? Yeah, it is hard.
It's hard. It's
Yeah,
hard. It's absolutely hard. So,
yeah.
but it's true. People are starting to use it, and people like yourself, Leah, who are using it now, it kind of opened up my eyes to seeing how people are owning it. So my thinking is, what else are people gonna start owning that are gonna
Mhm.
create a normalization of
Yeah.
terms? You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that'll be interesting. That'll be really interesting to
Yeah,
know.
Yeah,
I
well,
think so
no,
too.
absolutely. I just want to say one other thing too.
Yeah, go ahead.
When it comes to the actual script and the actual stories that people are telling, I'm gonna I'm totally going to. There's a word that I'm trying to think of that I can't think of. I'm going to let them decide what word they're comfortable with. I mean, unless it's the O word, because I'm not going to use that in any video that I make. But whether it's disabled or person with disability, like it's totally up to whoever sends in their story, whatever they're comfortable with. Because I think that's how it should be. It shouldn't be everybody has to use the word that everybody else wants them to use.
Yeah.
Should be whatever word makes them feel comfortable in addressing their disability, right?
Yeah.
No, and that shows the respect that you have for the person, right? If the person likes to use that word, whatever word, that shows that you respect the person's view as well, which is, I don't know about you, what you think, Mike, but I think that's what we need this world more. The more respect we have, the better it is for an individual.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Right?
We have to respect each other, and that's a big part of why I'm doing this. Just about respecting each other.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're working on that and then you're also working. So
Yes.
does that leave time for you to, do stuff for your mental health and keep yourself, mental wellness and all that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. I always try to take care of myself and do self-care and all of that stuff. I go for walks almost every day. And it's weird because doing some of this stuff, it actually, like the administration side of it actually helps my mental health. Like it kind of gives my brain dopamine somehow.
Hey, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's good because I know it can be hard, when you're already, working and then you have a passion that you're trying to make come alive. And I know it can be take a lot of time, but hopefully you're finding a good
Yeah, I mean,
routine.
my job is only 3 hours a week.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of what I was looking for because I wanted also time to work on this project.
Oh, that's perfect then. Yeah. That's good.
Other than going for walks, do you have anything else that would kind of help you relax your mind, kind of have a time of your own for
So
yourself?
I've always been interested in paranormal investigation.
Yeah, that's fun.
And I recently started I recently subscribed to this person on Twitch named Datoon. That's his username, not his actual name. But he actually does real life live stream in haunted places.
Oh, wow.
And he has like a REM pod and an EVP and a spirit box and all of this stuff, and it's super cool. And today I'm now I'm going off on a tangent about paranormal, but the problem that I've had with paranormal investigations is you never know if they're real or not when they're just uploaded onto YouTube. And so I love the live stream I think they're great and they're a lot of fun. So I watch those. And he actually reviews the footage on stream afterwards. So also pretty cool.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
You
So
know,
I
whatever
think
happens. I used to watch a lady on TikTok make cups. Like she would just like paint, like use paint and stuff and resin or whatever to make these cups with these swirly designs and glitter. I used to watch her for like 2 hours a day because I don't anymore. I kind of go through a phase, but it did something for me just to sit and watch, and she was happy. And then people, she'd make a cup and somebody would call in and watch her making them a cup. I don't know. It was just one of those things.
My wife really likes guinea pigs, and we actually have 5 guinea pigs right now. And one thing that she does almost every day is watches Mason's Caving. I don't know if you've heard of them.
no.
I don't think I have.
It's a group out of, well, not a group, it's a wife and husband, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Wife and husband in the UK who have,
Yes.
yeah. I don't know
Just-
how many
yeah.
pigs they have, but they have a lot, and they do like live Facebook Live and stuff.
Yeah, they open the door to the little shed where all the guinea pigs live, and then they feed them. And I remember it was like, oh my God, that's so many. Yeah, when you said that, yep.
Yeah.
Came to my mind.
I might do that after work. Just start looking for those videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mike, for being a part of this and being a part of our podcast again. We did ask this question. Leah has this amazing question about my life without limits. Do you think? Well, I have an idea of how to ask the question from the previous time we interview you to now. Do you think you're seeing your life without limits changing and compared to the different answer you received you gave us last time? If you get my question. So basically the question would be, you were living a life without limits if you were living a life without limits. Now my question for you is, have it changed? Sorry, my camera's going off. Have it changed from the last time to this time that you're now creating the wonderful project that you're doing?
Yeah, I really hope that my coworkers from ACCO aren't watching this, but I would say that I'm a lot happier now, and I feel more authentic with who I am and what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the people that I worked with at ACCO, but it wasn't my dream job. It wasn't a passion that I had.
Right.
Now that I get to do this is a passion and something that I really want to achieve.
Yeah,
So I would say it's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
we should have listened to it. I should have gone back and listened and to see what you said last time.
I don't know what I said last time.
I don't remember either. Doesn't matter. Whatever. As long as you're feeling, like you said, your authentic self, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And it's a dream of yours, right? And I think that if you're passionate with your dreams, that's the way you're living your life without limits. That's the way I see it, and pretty much that's what you said to me, or that's what the message came across to me, was that living your passion that you're living with is giving you more happiness, and it's giving you more life without limits, in a sense. Is there anything else, Leah, Mike, that you guys want to touch base on this before we wrap up?
Well, I don't know. I will put all your information in the show notes and everything, but why don't you just let people know how they can find you and see what you're doing, and if they have a story or something that they want to share, how can they do that?
So, well, right now, the only way to really do that is with email, and that is biz.michaelwingproduction@gmail.com, biz.michaelwingproductions.
Oh, wow, that was good. That was impressive. I can't
was
spell
like,
without looking.
we'll put it on the descriptions too. Thank you, Mike,
Yes.
for that open for your email as well. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna say I also have a Facebook group, a Twitter, and an Instagram. Which, Leah, if you look at the email that I sent, it's all in the. But I can also send it to you again if you'd like.
Great.
But if you, it's MWing Prod on Twitter, and then it's Michael Wing Production on Instagram,
Great.
maybe Facebook. I don't know how easy it is to find me, but Leah will put it in the.
Yeah, I'll put all the links in the notes so people can just click and find you.
So if you do have any stories for Michael, anyone who's listening to this show, once it comes out for you guys listening, make sure to reach out to Michael. I think his production that he's doing, his project that he's doing is fantastic for all these individuals who want to share this story, script his story, and who want to actually sit down and talk to Michael about this. I'm pretty sure he will be very open to have this phenomenal stories for each and every one of you. Leah, thank you so much for reaching out once again to Michael, and Michael, thank you so much for reaching out to Leah and for reaching out to our podcast. Thank you for being such a loyal guest. Like I said, you're the first guest who we have here twice already.
Yes.
So it's very exciting. We're very honored to have you once again. And for those of you guys who are listening and who want to be a part of this podcast, make sure to reach out to myself. Make sure to reach out to Leah. You can also go to our website, Cerebral Palsy website. And then you can look for My Life Without Limits podcast, and you can reach us there, and make sure to also to go to our Instagram page, because Leah and I, well, mostly Leah, posted a wonderful piece yesterday about looking for guests for our podcast story. So feel free to do that. We're not scary. We don't bite. We just bark sometimes. So
they don't. I've been on twice. They haven't bit me yet.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, our audience. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. It has been a pleasure, and we love to have a person like yourself, and it's been a pleasure, and we love the project that you're doing, and the best luck for this, because I think it will be a great project coming up for sure. Well,
thank you so much, and thank you to the audience for listening.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. For all of you, we'll see you next time, and please remember to live your life without limits.
Bye-bye.
Bye.